Greetings fellow investors, my name is Maxim. Today we delve into the critical concept of portfolio diversification. Navigating the dynamic tides of the financial markets requires a strategic approach, and diversification serves as a cornerstone of building a resilient investment foundation. Let's shed light on key strategies to optimize your portfolio and mitigate potential risks. And some disclaimer here, no financial advice, do your own research. VU, also known as a Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, is a popular exchange-traded fund that tracks the performance of the S&P 500 index. For the last decade, this ETF has grown by 170%. It's a really good number. The fees are extremely low, everything seems to be pretty fine for you to invest in that ETF 80 or maybe 90% of your funds. But there is one point I do not like in that story. It's one company's risk. No matter how good the historical performance or how stable the ETF management was, I don't want to keep my money in the ETF of one company. It's bringing an additional layer of risks to the structure. Let me show you how do I treat risk for my portfolio. What are all the risks I can influence on and how do I manage them? So the first one company's risk. It's impossible that there is a person who buys one company for all his money, no matter if it's an ETF or a specific stock. Whatever can happen with the company and you will lose all your funds right there. One of the most famous examples was the Lehman Brothers Bank. The bank was founded in 1844. It was one of the oldest banks on the Wall Street. In 2007, its capitalization was around $60 billion. 1 year later, by the end of 2008, the bank filed the largest corporate bankruptcy with $619 billion debt. Today I'll not dive into details of the mortgage crisis in 2008, it's just a very straightforward example of risk neglect. I believe the majority of people could not think that something serious can happen with such a large company, but there is always a chance. That was about the one company's risk. Another one I try to reduce in my risk profile is the one industry risk. You may think that, okay, I'll invest in many different companies, but will focus on the technology sector or some specific industry because it has the best performance. Yes, it might be true that historically some sectors and industries are performing better than the others. But for example, in some global war crisis times, the oil industry showed much better performance than it usually does. Depending on the perception of near future, I pay more attention to some capital-saving industries, like energy or consumers for example. Overall, what I am doing for my portfolio diversification, I am buying high-quality companies from different sectors and industries, trying to secure myself from unexpected situations in the world. Industry is not the most extensive parameter in my risk structure. The traditional focus on established markets like the US is understandable. But let's remember what did happen in the 1930s. The Great Depression almost eliminated the US market, enormous unemployment, thousands of lost lives, and some other terrible things. That's just one example of such historical and economical event. This type of risk I address by looking at emerging markets like India and United Arab Emirates. These regions offer the potential for dynamic growth and diversification benefits. By strategically allocating across those geographic boundaries, I enhance my portfolio's resilience to regional economic fluctuations, creating a more globally diversified and adaptable investment vehicle. I see India now as a China in the 1990s. It's a huge country with the biggest population. It has kinda neutral global politics, so I believe it can really show a skyrocket growth in the upcoming 1 or 2 decades. The United Arab Emirates is another example of an emerging country with a self-centered external politics. It invests a lot in a wide range of industries and developments. Moreover, it's an important player in the oil market and in the Arab world. The last risk in my structure is even more global than the geographical one. It's a timing risk. I do not try to overplay market timing. I believe the chances to time the market are close to zero or around that. And for sure nobody can predict it. For my portfolio, I am using the DCA strategy. I am buying any stock depending on its value and possible future return, but not the current price. I don't know when the market will fall down, on when is the best time for buying. I am trying to understand global events, potential risks, what industries to pay my attention to, and what are the best qualities companies I can find there. In conclusion, Portfolio diversification is not merely a passive strategy, but an active approach to construct a resilient investment foundation. By spreading your exposure across diverse asset classes, industries, and geographical regions, you empower your portfolio to weather market storms and navigate unpredictable economic tides. Remember, diversification is not a destination, but an ongoing journey of research, analysis, and strategy rebalancing. By combining assets with varying risk profiles and return potential, you can create a really balanced portfolio capable of withstanding market fluctuations. So, embark on this journey with confidence, watch your portfolio transform into a formidable fortress, safeguarding your financial future. If you did enjoy the video, press the like button, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Thank you.